Is this real life?
Yes, this is real life.
I feel crazy.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me.
What was the worst moment of your teenage years?
My worst moment of my teenage years was probably being locked up.
More people are getting dragged into Diddy.
Bieber put out a message letting everyone know that she's his gatekeeper now. She's protecting him from anything crazy. They're avoiding any Diddy questions.
The recent fallout from Diddy's arrest has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with new reports hinting that arrest warrants have been issued for several celebrities allegedly linked to his criminal activities. The investigation into Diddy's parties has widened, and sources suggest that up to 7 high-profile figures could now be facing charges. This list reportedly includes major stars such as Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez, adding even more intrigue to an already sensational case.
Those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home, where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them, and lure them in thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out in court. Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said, you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there.
I met Diddy at pre-party, and I met him when he was in a love era. And I met Diddy when the world was celebrating him and giving him his flowers while he was alive. Mm-hmm. Like he did, he was getting the Global Icon Award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Key to the City. He had a new album that was coming out. So I was celebrating him with the world. And I just feel like everybody trying to crucify me for it. Like, you was his biggest advocate. You was his cheerleader, but I was just celebrating when the world was celebrating him. Mm-hmm. So why am I being crucified, or why am I being separated?
Food is inedible, from what I've been told. It's way too hot in the summer. Sometimes there's no heat at all in the winter. The toilet water has been known to freeze. It's violent. Someone like Mr. Combs, might be a target for certain things.
You ever been to one of Diddy parties?
Yeah, I've been in attendance. Hey, what the fuck you smirking for?
You saying that?
I've been in attendance.
He just asked you regular questions.
That's all I said. I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking. We just asking.
Yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
"You had fun?" I ain't seen that.
Yeah, you did.
Huh? I ain't seen that.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah. I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties. I have been in attendance at a puff party. You know what I'm saying? I've been in attendance. Yeah, I went. Yeah, but I ain't. Yeah, I don't know which party. The party I went to, it was girls turn up. You know what I'm saying? The regular. You know what I mean? Other celebrities and shit. Yeah,
that's what you doing. Lying when you say I ain't been to one of them parties. Wait, one party? Oh, that's crazy.
People keep forgetting that he created Onika to replace Little Kim, so he didn't have to be forced with facing Biggie's legacy all the time because he knew what he had stolen.
I didn't know.
He created Onika to destroy Kim.
Why give her to Gucci Man? Why give her to Lil Wayne? Like, why let her leave the East Coast?
Victims speak each other's language.
Well, okay. Well, there you go.
Guess that's why he sold her catalog.
all gotta go. All gotta go.
And why No Limit
in these gatherings may not have been mere bystanders.
Have you seen this video? Unearthed by the Daily Mail. It turns out we should have been paying attention to what Sean Combs was saying all these years. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever. He's actually on video basically saying, we're about to do some stuff here that's pretty adult.
And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. In an hour, we put the kids away. It's all good. All right, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
There you go. Again, video is showing up all over the place. Audio is showing up all over the place. People are starting to talk about what was going on. It makes you wonder, how exactly was he able to hide this for as long as he did? And if all these allegations are true, come on.
But it is apropos in this particular situation. Remember what Suge Knight said? Y'all remember that? When Suge Knight said he was in a world of trouble? Because Suge Knight said, listen, he knows a lot. And so you're looking at a potential situation where it could arguably mirror that of Jeffrey Epstein. Remember him? August 10th, 2019. Prison guards found, I'm reading right from online. Guards found American financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein unresponsive in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City, where he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Tried to perform CPR, couldn't resuscitate him, pronounced dead at a downtown hospital at 6:39 a.m. What it went on to say in the reports that there were violations because normal jail procedures on the night of Epstein's death wasn't followed. It talked about a malfunction of 2 cameras in front of his cell. And you got people still to this very day with their conspiracy theories being thrown out there that it wasn't suicide, but ultimately intentional harm was brought to him because he knew too much about too many people. That's what Suge Knight alluded to when he was talking about P. Diddy. And as we sit here today, who the hell can deny that potential reality? Do we know? No.
Increasing complexity of the case, a new judge has been assigned to oversee Diddy's legal proceedings. This appointment comes as federal prosecutors gear up to handle an expanding list of defendants, which includes several high-profile names. The decision underscores the gravity of the situation, with the possibility of an even broader investigation looming. Many celebrities linked to Diddy's parties are said to be in a state of panic as arrest warrants and subpoena subpoenas. Rumors of secret tapes containing compromising footage of stars like Jay-Z and Kim Kardashian have only intensified the scandal, sending shockwaves through Hollywood.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Some of these stories, because I think it's important to point this out. When you highlight and you talk about some of the charges that have been leveled against him, and you see some of the stuff that's being said about him. Look at this right here. Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day writes, I never thought I would see this day, she told TMZ. We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going. And not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We're all processing what that type of vindication can actually feel like now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond moving on all levels. That was Aubrey O'Day. You know 50 Cent was gonna make sure his voice was heard. Clowning P. Diddy. Taunting him, basically, because he's long taunted P. Diddy for years over the harrowing allegations against him. And what does he say here? This is yesterday, 50 Cent. Here I am, keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore TV show. And I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house. 50 Cent was referencing the over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricants for the freak-offs that the indictment revealed were allegedly found during the raid of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami back in March.
Celebrities, including Jay-Z, have reportedly gone into hiding after the FBI issued warrants to search their properties. An attorney involved in Diddy's case has allegedly reviewed incriminating footage that features several high-profile figures, some even more influential than Diddy himself. These tapes are said to contain compromising activities recorded at Diddy's infamous parties, potentially implicating major stars in the illegal events now under investigation.
So as you guys know, right now, because Diddy's arrested, a bunch of these Kardashian clips are once again going viral. And it has to do with Khloe, Kourtney, they're talking about Diddy parties, you name it. Well, there's even a little bit more that I don't think I covered. This is from The Sun. Here we go. So at the time, Khloe told her sister Kourtney that she had spent the night partying with a string of famous faces. She said that I got on a plane at 5:30 in the morning. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it. Khloe then turned to her co-star, Kaja, I don't know how to say it, and said, have you met Khloe's new crew of friends? To which she replied, yes. Yeah, I don't think I covered that, so oh my goodness. Also, I want to point this out. When you guys watch the Kardashian clips where they're talking about these Diddy parties and you really watch them, you can tell it's almost like they knew it was weird or bizarre or shocking, right? So Khloe said something along the lines like, oh, Kourtney, did you like the party? And Kourtney's like, yeah. And then they talk about it and then Khloe's like, you loved it? I don't know. It just seems weird to be talking about a party because usually when you go to a party, everyone's like, yeah, the party was sick. It was great. It was a good time. But how they're talking about it just even seems off, bro. I'm just saying. Who knows, man?
As if you didn't need another reason to dislike Will Smith. Well, after watching this video, and mind you, it is a little disturbing, so please keep that in mind. Jaden says his mother sold him to Diddy, just like Usher handed Justin over to Diddy, and he had to attend those so-called camps, and they did the same thing to him that they did to Justin. So his mother actually forced him into these horrible acts. Also, Will and Jada used Jaden for their own freak-off parties, and Jaguar Wright said young men have actually ran screaming out of their house just to get away from them. So she did say that they do really weird things in that house. Also, Will, his assistant, he actually walked in on Will having schmegs with another man. Also, Jada introduced Jaden to some altering pills, and the fact that she had schmeg with one of his friends for 4 years. And guess what? Will didn't mind because he was batting for the other team and having affairs with young men that were in the industry under the guise of mentorship. And he used that to manipulate all of them. This is so disturbing, I can't even tell you how sad I feel for Jaden. Also for what they have put him through. His life probably would have ended up differently. So if they had just freaking been normal. And Jaden, he emancipated from his parents when he was 16, and he refused to even come back to do family interviews. So I just hope that one day both him and Justin get the help that they need and can move on from all of this. I'm Peanut, and that's my perspective.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
Kim Porter's book says Kim had tapes of Diddy having relations, air quotes, with Jay-Z, Will Smith, and others. Okay, so I told you guys yesterday, and I played a couple of little clips from his interview, but I told you that I was going to sit down and watch the whole thing and come back and talk to you guys about it. So it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. I watched it for you guys so you wouldn't have to, okay? Now, there's a lot of things that this guy is saying that I don't believe when it comes to him and this flash drive that he has. He claims that Kim Porter's friends gave him a flash drive, and that's where he got the book idea and the stuff to write this book that he's put out on Amazon, that Amazon now has taken back. Okay, but although that he is saying some things that just seem very far-fetched and untrue because he hasn't proven it, people are saying there's a lot of things that can be true, and he is saying that he is actually going to produce finally the evidence. So for people like me who don't believe him, or maybe believe some things and don't believe, he's saying that if it comes to it and he's pushed to litigation, that he is going to prove the fact that he does have this flash drive, and on these flash drive there are tapes with Will Smith and Jay-Z and others. He said, and I'm going to play the clip for you in a second, he says Will Smith and Jay-Z can be bisexuals. Actually, you know what? Let me not even paraphrase this guy. I'm going to just play the clip. Listen to what he says about Will Smith and Jay-Z and about them being,
and people with foolishness and people with malcontent, but we are sifting through that and trying to make sure that we identify and vet people that have real claims, legitimate, credible claims. Right now, we're talking about 120 people from 25 different states for conduct that occurred over 25 years.
25 different states? Is that what you said? Not cities. You said 25 different states.
Yeah. Because, a lot of these parties obviously took place in Los Angeles, New York, Manhattan, or the Hamptons, and Miami. And a lot of these people were flown in. And this wasn't a secret. I mean, it was known that people were being flown in for these parties. People were being paid cash to attend these parties. People were being identified at clubs or at concerts or on the street even, and invited to these parties. So you have that group of people that are involved. And then you have another group, and maybe this is the more sinister situation, where, young people with stars in their eyes, wanting to break into the entertainment industry with promises of stardom, who are taken advantage of, in some cases allegedly drugged and abused, and basically just left behind, with shame.
Jennifer Lopez's connection to Diddy has come back into the spotlight as both her personal and professional ties to the music mogul are now under scrutiny. Lopez, who dated Diddy in the early 2000s, has been linked to several events at his infamous parties. Although there is no confirmation of her involvement in any illegal activities, her name appearing on the arrest warrant list has sparked a media frenzy. Legal experts suggest that Lopez might be called to testify, especially considering